Let's bring in the CEO of crypto custodian Fireblocks. Fireblocks protects 400 billion in crypto around the world. Michael Shalov is joining us now in a Fox Business exclusive. Michael, first, let me get your reaction as obviously somebody who's very involved in the crypto world, what you think about the Sacramento Kings and what it does for the overall vision of cryptocurrency.
Yeah, well, first of all, thanks, Liz, for having me. I think those are fantastic news, to be honest. I think we've sort of witnessed over the last year or so how crypto basically moves its way to the mainstream and being used not only as this highly speculative sort of investment vehicle, but also, we're starting to see more and more of real world use cases. And I think that actually paying salaries and being able to basically remit value in crypto is definitely the main use case for which this was invented.
Yeah, you've got Mark Cuban of the Dallas Mavericks, who was very forward-thinking when it came to allowing fans pay for tickets and suites, things like that, when it comes to cryptocurrency. But we've also heard of other players. There's a football player, as you know, NFL lineman Russell Okung, who's converted half of his salary into Bitcoin. That's his own choice. And so I think that the sports world almost seems to be so far ahead of the banking world. And yet we've got China coming up with its own government cryptocurrency, digital currency, and it sort of feels like the U.S. is behind. Where do you stand on that?
Well, yeah, I think that generally speaking, China is definitely making headways in terms of rolling it out in a government level. I think that in general in the U.S. The government was not sort of like pushing it. It was much more the private sector, right, that was basically front running it in the United States. I think part of it actually sort of created a bit of a delay in terms of the bigger financial institutions getting into the game. But as of I think mid last year, where the OCC gave fairly clear guidance. And there is a regulatory clarity. We're basically seeing much of the private sector, especially the bigger institutions, basically moving into the space, setting up the infrastructure.
You're very much a vault for people who want to park their cryptocurrency, trade it, move it around. You got to tell me what you're seeing from your customers, because you have about 400 billion in all kinds of crypto that you protect. Which one seems to be out front? We hear a lot, obviously, about Bitcoin, but Ethereum seems to be gaining some traction. XRP, of course, is controversial, but XRP is up 22% today. So there are all kinds of names out here, including Doge and Litecoin. Which ones seem to be the choice at the moment?
Yeah, so actually, pulling the statistics here, in the last 30 days, we basically sold around $110 billion of cryptocurrency, and over time, it's already north to 400 billion. I think the last 30 days, Bitcoin was about 38% of what we've seen from an institutional settlement volume. ETH was basically the second largest with around 14%. And actually, what we're seeing more is actually coins like, there is a lot of activity around stable coins, which is actually just a tokenized dollar that is being used across the board. In my perspective, this is actually one of the most interesting things, and probably the response to what China is basically rolling as, from a government-sponsored initiative here in the United States. We're seeing a lot of other coins like DOT and Polkadot and some others that are basically, but this is, in sort of, 6-7% of the volume, of the settlement volume that we are seeing.
Got it. Michael, we got to run, but I do have to ask you, can you guys guarantee 100% security of people's cryptocurrency, that it won't be hacked, they won't forget their password somehow, or you'll be able to retrieve it for them?
Yeah, so we provide the solution for institutions, right? For the bigger banks that actually basically provide the accounts for, and fintech companies, other providers that provides the account. And the systems that they have do guarantee that there are mechanisms around recovery. There are a lot of security and policies in place to basically guarantee proper access. And we also carry a pretty significant insurance amount to protect those assets in the case that there is some kind of technical failure.
Okay. Michael Shalov, it's great to have you. Fireblocks, we're watching it. I know you just raised about 133 million in a Series C round. Coinbase is going public. It's a very exciting sector. Thanks so much.